And now, David DeGuzman with WFXR Sports.
And the Beijing Winter Olympics officially underway after the opening ceremony took place this morning. The Chinese capital becoming the first city to host both the Winter and Summer Games, as the Olympics returning 14 years after the summer edition took place in 2008. Beijing is 13 hours ahead of the Eastern time zone, which means we're approaching 8 in the morning in the host city, and that's where we find WFXR's Andrew Marden reporting live for us. And Andrew, even before the opening ceremony, Team USA already off to a great start on the ice.
Absolutely, Dave. And let me also say this, that, you did the conversion in your head for me, so I appreciate that, because I know that it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning because I've got a clock right in front of me. But trying to do the math and subtract 13 hours on about 3 hours sleep is challenging. So thank you, David, for doing that for me here. And yes, you talk about the opening ceremony now being in the rearview mirror. That is the official kickoff to the Olympics, which we are off and running. And so far, Team USA has done well in women's hockey, in figure skating, and we will have 6 medal events on the docket today here in Beijing. Now, the U.S. not expected to medal in any of them, but you never know. Jessie Diggins wasn't supposed to win gold in cross-country skiing 4 years ago in Pyeongchang, and she and Keegan Randall did that. So we'll see what happens. The one thing we do know is mixed event biathlon taking place today, and that is the one sport, biathlon, and you know this, David, because you know more about the Olympics than anyone that I know. Biathlon is the one winter sport in which the U.S. has never won an Olympic medal.
I got to ask you about Nathan Chen, because he got the figure skating underway for the Americans last night in the team event. And honestly, I mean, a great performance from him, much better than what he did 4 years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. The hype, the pressure, the expectations, that was there on him 4 years ago in Pyeongchang, but he just did not deliver, did not live up to the expectations. But since Pyeongchang, he has won pretty much everything under the sun. He is a 6-time U.S. champion, including 2022. He's a 3-time world champion, and he came to the Olympics as a favorite to win gold. Between him and Yuzuru Hanyu from Japan, those are going to be the guys that go back-to-back. Now, Hanyu has won the last 2 gold medals in the individual men's skate. So we'll see if Nathan Chen can live up to that. But yeah, based on what he did yesterday, you think he definitely is not only going to be in the running, but he is the favorite. He landed, and I want to make sure I get this right, a quad Lutz triple toe loop combination. I have no idea what that means. I could barely say it. He performed it flawlessly.
Whatever it was spectacular. Hey, Andrew, one more thing. Obviously, it took a lot just to get you to Beijing. What were some of the obstacles that you had to overcome to get to the Chinese capital?
Excellent question. And yeah, we're still dealing with daily COVID-19 testing here in Beijing. David, we needed 3 negative tests just to leave the United States because of potential security threats. We have burner phones. They replace the laptops on our hard drives. When we get back to the U.S., we have to turn in any USBs, any SD cards, when we shoot video. So the technology thing is a concern. Obviously, the COVID testing is a concern. We had a ton of paperwork to fill out with the gear that we have. So it was a challenging experience to get here. And then when you get here and realize that there's no snow, no artificial snow, it's all artificial snow. There's no natural snow because Beijing only gets about 10 inches a year. It does feel like an Olympics, though. And a lot of people have said, well, does it feel like an Olympics? Because we just did Tokyo 180 days ago, and you had to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic then as well, too. So biggest challenge probably so far has been the COVID-19 testing. We are just crossing our fingers and hoping that none of us within the closed loop tests positive, because if we do, we get sent to an isolation facility. If we test positive with symptoms, we have to go to a hospital. It is very difficult to get back into the closed loop. So crossing our fingers for that. David?
Andrew Marden, live for us in Beijing. I think the trip will be worth it. He'll be reporting for us throughout the Winter Games, and we'll see you on Monday. Andrew, thanks. And that's it for sports. Let's go over to John with a final check of weather.